bakers and friends, and welcome to my kitchen in Palma for another one of my short order recipes. These are recipes that I really love to make and make very often, but they just don't warrant a full-on bake along, so I'd like to share them with you on the Facebook group. So today I'm going to be doing coleslaw, which is one of my all-time favorites. Over here in Europe we are heading into summer, the barbecue season, and this is something I just love to have in the fridge to have with a meal in the evening, or to have on a sandwich with some avocado and some tomato. It's just a great and very, very flexible salad to have. And the best thing about it is it keeps for a number of days. In fact, it's better the next day because all of the flavors meld together. So let's get on with it. What I've got, obviously the main ingredients in coleslaw is cabbage. So I've got two types of cabbage here. I've got a white cabbage and a red cabbage, or a purple cabbage. And I've got some carrots. Now, mostly, store-bought coleslaw will be made from just white carrot white cabbage and carrot, and there'll be much more white cabbage than there is cabbage. There'll be much more white cabbage than there is carrot. Wow. So, but I like to mix it up a little. So the ratio I'm going for with the cabbage to the carrot is about 2/3 of cabbage to 1/3 of carrot, except I'm using two different cabbages. So I'm basically going for 1/3 of the white cabbage, 1/3 of the volume of the red cabbage, and 1/3 of carrot. Wow, that was really a mouthful. My husband's laughing in the background. Okay, good. Before I get on with that, let's get on with the dressing. So I've got a cup of mayonnaise here, and I've got some salt and pepper, 1 teaspoon of salt and 1/2 teaspoon of pepper. I've got a tablespoon of white sugar, and I'm just going to start with a teaspoon of mustard. You could use Dijon mustard. I'm using this kind of American mustard, which is quite good in this, but Dijon mustard works fine. Ooh, about a teaspoon, start with that. We'll be tasting it. And 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. So that goes in. And just mix this together and have a taste. That's the most important thing. You may need more, you may need less. Totally up to your taste. Give it a little mix with the whisk. And now let's taste time. Perfect. Don't need to change things. So that's ready to go. That's my dressing. I may not need all of it. It depends. The thing about coleslaw is to find a head of cabbage that's small enough, because it will make a lot. So let's get on with making the cabbage. Now here's my top tip for actually making it, because you can make a big mess in the kitchen when you make this, is I like to make it directly into a big plastic bag. This in fact is a garbage bag. So I'm going to actually grate and cut my cabbage directly into this, and then mix it in here, and then just put it into a bowl. So I'm going to do the carrot on a box grater like this. Of course, you could use the kitchen machine, but for just this little job, I just don't think it's worth dirtying up the kitchen machine. So the carrot just gets grated in here like this, and you can see that because I've got this spread out, it kind of catches all of the bits of carrot that fly everywhere that would normally end up on the floor or all over the bench. So you're going to see how quick and easy this is. So I'm starting with 2 carrots, but it's difficult to tell the volume you're going to get. So, well, like I said, I'm aiming for 1/3 of carrot to 1/3 of red cabbage to 1/3 of white cabbage. But I've got another carrot on standby if it's not another carrot. Right, that's my 2 carrots. Now I'm going to change to my mandolin, which is this thing here. Of course, you could just cut this with a knife, a thin, a really sharp knife. but this goes much faster with a machine like this. So just take that big leaf away and have another go. So that's what I'm going for, thinly sliced pieces of cabbage. And obviously you want to avoid getting that root involved. So keep turning it so you don't end up grating the root in, which makes it rather unpleasant, that piece. You just want the outer leaves. And you can see, now you can see the sort of volume you're talking about. So I think I'll stop there and I'll try now a piece of the white cabbage. Just have to readjust my bag so that I don't have stuff flying everywhere. You can see that the bag is a really good idea for this. So be very careful with your fingers if you're using one of these machines. Definitely need a bit more of the white. So I'll start this other piece. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. So in here I've got, I'd say, a third white, a third red, and a third of the carrot in there. To that, I'm adding 2 scallions or spring onions or green onions that are finely chopped. That's an option. I mean, that's something you could put in. There are lots of other options you could put in here. You could put in some finely some chopped pineapple. I'm going to put in a little bit of red bell pepper or paprika in there just for a bit of color. You could put in some nuts. Yeah, I mean, you can be very adventurous with that. Right, so now I'm going to put in about half of the dressing and see how I go. So straight in the bag with about half of the dressing. Just kind of cover the dressing up so it doesn't stick straight to the plastic bag. And gather the bag and toss. Toss, toss, toss. Have a look to see what your coverage is like. Now, you don't overdress your coleslaw. Don't overdress anything. I think that just needs maybe a spoon more and it's good. Because as the dressing works in the coleslaw, it will pull some moisture out of the vegetables. So it will get wetter as it matures. So you don't want to overdo it. But good, I think we're good. So, time to debag. And I'll go straight onto the platter. Sorry about the clutter there. And get rid of all of this. And debag. Could put some parsley, some finely chopped parsley in here as well, or just some finely chopped parsley on top. But there you go. How quick and easy was that? Made from scratch, including the dressing. Any big pieces like that, just sort them out. And there you go, beautiful coleslaw. In a couple of days, keep it in the fridge, in a container. I mean, look, that's enough for 8 people. It's a huge portion. And costs really flop all to buy these pieces, these bits and pieces, and it's a wonderful salad. So go for it. And if you enjoyed this recipe, please make a comment in the comments below and let me know how you get on with it. And if you'd like to join in with one of my real bake-alongs where we do much more complicated recipes, or sometimes we do easy ones too, get in touch and join in. It's a lot of fun. And if you like my beautiful apron, please get in touch because I can send you one. So that's it for me, and it was lovely to have you with me today, and see you soon in my kitchen in Parma. Bye for now.